Hey guys, it is your buddy James Lugo here. Your buddy in weight loss and health. And 15 months ago, today is November 7th, 2016. August 1st of 2015, 15 months ago, I weighed 275 pounds. And my wife had bought me this pair of 34-inch jeans, and they were literally like, they're slim cut too. They weren't even just like regular 34s. They were like really, really, like it says in Knocked Up, tighten up. It was very tight, super tight. She bought them for me like Father's Day, like 5 months ago. And I was like, yo, get 34s, and it is where I'm going to take me 3, 4, 5 months, whatever, but I get to them. I put them on yesterday, and they fit. Couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe what I looked like in them. So 15 months ago, I was wearing 50-inch pants. And I put a before and after picture up on Facebook, and a lot of people were like, whoa, the 50-inch pants James Lugo, and next to it was the 34-inch pants James Lugo. So people have been asking me, like, how did you lose weight? Like a lot, like literally in the last 8 or 10 hours, like 20 people have messaged me. And they're like, how did you do it? I'm sick, I've got this problem, I got diabetes, I'm doing this, it's happening, I have sleep apnea, I'm depressed, I can't get over it, I can't, high blood pressure, all this stuff. This is serious business to me. And I can't type to a million people about this, cause I can chat with people, but I'd be better to like Skype with somebody. I'm a one-finger pecker, so on a typing thing. So anyway, so basically, I'll show you this picture. And there it is. And these are, those are the 34-inch pants that I wore yesterday, slim cut. And here are my 50 inches from 15 months ago. It's like kind of unbelievable, hard to explain. Like, these are 50-inch jeans. There you go. Look at that. It's like a Laurel and Hardy skit. So, people want to know how I did it. So that's this video. I'm just going to lay it out. I'm telling you, it's unconventional. It may challenge some of you people. I want to get, the standard, conventional wisdom for the last, since basically the 80s, but 80s bodybuilders really did this up for us, was 6 small meals, hours of cardio. That's how you lose weight. 6 small meals. Stop eating at 6 o'clock. Taper down your carbohydrates and live on the elliptical or the treadmill or whatever. And that's how you lose weight. And that's basically what, let me set this up a little better, I'm sorry. That's what they've been teaching us since the 80s. And I'm a student of the 80s with this. I mean, I'm 52 years old. I grew up into bodybuilding and into the whole industry, and worked at a gym, and everybody with their Tupperwares and their chicken breasts with no skin on it, and steamed broccoli, and all their supplements, and it just didn't work for me, kids. And you know what? It works for a lot of people. A lot of people are healthy and get shredded, and they live like that, and it's their thing. And that's what this whole video is about. Every form of healing has its place, I think. I've lost weight doing a variety of things, and that's what I'm going to go over right now. Today I found what I love to do and what I get the best results and what makes me feel the best, but that's not to say that that's going to be the best for everybody. And at the same time, nobody can tell me what's best for me. So here it is. August 1st, August 1st, 2015, I was 275 pounds. At 5'8", 50 years old, 275 pounds. And I had gotten pneumonia about 2 years ago. And I spent 3 months in bed. And I couldn't get rid of it. There was just nothing the doctors was doing was helping. You know, steroids and antibiotics and antifungals and amoxicillin and penicillin, all these things. I had so many things going wrong with me, and I'm really nervous about this video for some reason, and my kids have to be in the back making noise. But I spent 3 months in bed, and I had this realization that first and foremost, I had no immune system, and second of all, that I was going to die, and some other guy was going to raise my kids. And that was, when that, after a couple months in bed, I started to not think I was so hip, slick, and cool and smart as I used to be. And over the last 20 years, I've gained and lost 500 pounds. I'm not kidding you. Gain 12, or lose 12, put on 13, lose 7, put back 6, lose 21, put back 26, for 20 years, up and down. And at the time when I got the pneumonia, I also had sleep apnea. I'd gone to the UCLA sleep clinic, had sleep apnea, I had chest pains, I had high blood pressure. My blood pressure was 162 over like 116-ish, 122-ish. My blood pressure now is like, no, I'm sorry. Yeah, my blood pressure was like 162 over, like 116, 118, 120. Now it's 116 over 62. Amazing. But I had massive chest pains, high blood pressure, psoriasis all over my skin. I was hypoglycemic. If I would bend over, I would be dizzy like I was going to fall out. If I was working and didn't have food enough, I would start to keel over. And I was depressed and angry. And I was mad at myself. And it was just kind of radiating. And I'd lost interest in my business. And I was like, I hated music. And I didn't want to, all I wanted to do was, like that lady says in the movie, Hungry for Change. All I wanted to do was just lay in bed and watch other people have lives on TV and eat. So anyway, laying in bed for these 3 months, I started to research immune systems. And I found out that it has a lot to do with your stomach. And it ended up landing me to the movie Fat, Sick, and Nearly Dead, which I bought on iTunes, and I proceeded to watch 8 hours a day, every single day. I'm not kidding you. And then that movie kind of moved me into Hungry for Change and Forks Over Knives, and it all landed me into Joel Fuhrman and John Gabriel and Dr. Doug Lyle and Gary Taubes and David Wolfe and Chris Carr, and I got into Kimberly Snyder's book, The Beauty Detox Solution, and Wheat Belly. That was kind of the scope of it. And in the midst of all of this, I'm in the middle of making my movie. What'd you make?
Look what I made.
I'm sorry, guys. Oh, that is pretty cool. Are those blasters or thrusters?
Blasters.
Okay.
It's like
Let me finish. I'm going to be in there in a few minutes. Say hey.
Hey.
Yeah. That's worth putting them, that's worth the Forks Over Knives. Go, give me a kiss. Go. So, laying in bed, watching these movies, researching, watching Fat, Sick, and Nearly Dead over and over and over, like 50,000 times. I finally just went for it, and I did at this point, this was basically August 1st, 2015, I started an on and off, about a 2-month juice fast with some salads. And I think I dropped about 20 pounds, and I started to feel better. I started to look better, I started to feel better. I got out of bed. Go figure. And then I kind of slipped into trying to do the pseudo-vegan thing. Totally didn't work for me on every level. I didn't like the way I felt, and I just don't like vegetables and fruits that much. So that didn't work for me. Though, again, going back to what I initially said, a lot of people, they do that more the raw, and they get great results. No judging. Okay. So after a few months of this, I started to feel better. And I've always been kind of obsessed with CrossFit. I started watching the series called Killing the Fat Man. If you go onto YouTube and you search Killing the Fat Man, it's this guy, Gary something. I talked to him one time. He's a nice guy. He lost like 80 pounds in like 4 months doing CrossFit and eating paleo. So, but it's a series of like 14, like 15, 20-minute videos of his progression. And I really loved it. I watched it over and over again, got obsessed with CrossFit. Joined CrossFit 615 here, started eating paleo, got into Mark Sisson's The Primal Blueprint. And again, I got it on Audible, and I'm listening to it nonstop all day long. And this is a common thing, and this is just for me, and this totally may not be for anybody else. But no matter what I got into, I was obsessed with it. Because it was the only thing that helped me to not eat. It was like, I mean, I watched Hungry for Change 1,000 times. That was my favorite one. I still love that movie. I still watch that movie all the time. Yeah, it's just the guy. That movie just is that's the holy grail in a lot of ways to me. And so anyway, I got into Mark Sisson's The Primal Blueprint. That kind of became the next thing, which was like, now it was all about ancestral eating. I started studying archaeology. I got the movie The Perfect Human Diet, and following all those guys in the Inuit tribes and all these different, I'm a science guy, so I'm like into this. I'm not, you know what I mean? I want to find out what's up. So I got into CrossFit and paleo, and I joined Hotbox, which is heated kickboxing here. And I was going to Hotbox like 3-4 days a week. I was doing a little bit of CrossFit. CrossFit was too hard for me at the time. I wasn't strong enough. As much as I loved it, I just sucked at it. Hotbox, I was getting a good sweat. It was where I was at. I enjoyed it. Had a nice little community of people. I became friends with everybody. I started lifting a little weights with the owner, Kyle. Really enjoyed it. Still enjoy it. And I got into like Abel James, Amir Rosick, Rich Froning, all these like kind of paleo type of people, listening to endless podcasts. Mark Sisson, Abel James, I can't think of all their names, but the usual the best of the best, and just started following what they were doing, and I lost another 20-30 pounds. It worked. Then that moved me somehow into ketogenic, which got me into like Dr. Jockers and the Jimmy Moore thing and Joe Rogan and kind of all this ketogenic, which is high fat, moderate protein, low carb, and I mean frickin' low carb. I mean, I got the Precision Extra, which gives you your ketones and gives you your glucose, and I was measuring my ketones and my glucose in the morning, and MCT oil and coconut oil, and what else was keto? Bacon and avocados. Another thing, that worked, and I lost a little bit of weight. Keto moved me into something that I'm doing now, and I'm forever grateful. But keto in itself did not work for me. Though I'm a part of the Ketogenic Success Facebook page, and they're awesome people, and I've learned so much there, and it's a part of what I do, and I don't discuss it on there, and I've already discussed this with the moderators, and they're like, I told them, I said, I'm a cycler, I can't live ketogenic, it's not my thing, and I don't believe in it, for me, anyway, it's just not for me. And they said, well, as long as you don't go on this, the forum and thing and start talking about that, which I've never done, which is why this I won't put this on their site as a respect for them, because what they're doing is something very, very strict, and a lot of those people for years will stay under 20 carbs a day, and they become what's known as fat adapted, which means that their body now is like exclusively using fat as a fuel source, and that's how they're losing weight and they're overcoming. Because a lot of our modern metabolic diseases like cancer and all this stuff and heart, these are diseases of sugar, man. Don't let anybody tell you that you got heart disease because you're eating cholesterol and eggs. That we got sold that many years ago in the 70s by the sugar industry. That's a lie. People are dying because of sugar. Do your homework. I'm not coming across, it's very passionate. So anyway, the keto thing was not for me. I got fat adapted. I just felt lousy. I just didn't like it. And I hate that food. I don't like bacon that much. I hate avocados, coconut milk and everything, coconut butter. Like, it wasn't for me. I did it for about 2 or 3 months, and I only in the end lost about 14 pounds, to be totally honest with you. It wasn't, or not even like 11. I don't think it was so much that. It's that I just couldn't live it. So if I went off, I went off. But at one point, I think I did 17 or 19 days straight. 20 grams of carbs a day, logging my food, bacon, cheese, avocado. I was strict. My wife was making keto bombs. Like, we were hook, line, and sinker. And keeping the protein low and keeping the carbs at around 20 grams. Some days were 17, 14. And I don't know if I got fat adapted. I don't care if I got fat adapted. It wasn't for me. So I moved on. And that was kind of the end of my first phase of this weight loss. At that point, I starved myself down to a certain weight loss, and I went crazy. I just trying to never eat carbs just didn't agree with me. I couldn't work out. And then for like 4 months, I kind of floundered. Luckily, I didn't really gain any weight. I stayed kind of, between 20. I went down. My lowest was 199, and I stayed between 202 and 207. And it was right at the beginning of summer. So now my kids were out of school, and I was traveling for work. We took the kids to Legoland. We went down to Miami. Like, I was on and off gone for 2 months, and I had to deal with the kids because we don't have family here. So it was like I had to put hot box on the side, and I kind of put everything on the side for a few months. And I said, what? Let me just get through the summer. Let me just try to maintain, have some fun. And it's summer, and I'm out with my family and kids. I want to have some pizza. I want to get up. Sometimes if I'm in New York City, I'm going to have a bagel. Like, that's going to happen. That's why keto would never work for me. Because I'm never going to not have a slice of pizza. When I die, I maybe not have a slice of pizza. After that, yeah. Before that, it's not going to happen. I'm not going to ever not have a French fry. It's just not going to happen. So, to thine own self be true. And to people that can live like that and they find health out of that, and they, Butter Bob and all these dudes, man, more power to you, brother. Then coming out of the kids going back into school, through the summer, I was really getting into intermittent fasting. And I think in a lot of ways, even though my workouts were not so good ever, my food was like, I was not really logging my food as much. Everything was kind of I started really getting into intermittent fasting. And that's really one of the best things for me that came out of keto, because it kind of landed me in that world. And then I started learning about it. I started doing it, which landed me where I am now, today, 15 months later, which is basically intermittent fasting, carb cycling, and weight training. And I'm getting the best results, and I'm the happiest. I love intermittent fasting. I love not eating in the morning. And the science is impeccable. And this all goes back to ancestral, like how we lived as warriors. And, we didn't eat breakfast for, until 10,000 years ago. Breakfast kind of started and really didn't become popular till really big until the Industrial Revolution, because they wanted these guys to go in the factory and just work and not let them go. So they were jacking them up with food, but You know, what I've learned for myself with this, you know, I get up in the morning, cortisol is high, gets me ready to go out and hunt. Cortisol and insulin are counter-regulatory. There's no way that I'm designed to eat in the morning if my cortisol is high. It goes against nature. And insulin's going to go up no matter what you eat. Sugar or no sugar, it's still going to have an effect on insulin. So I just don't eat in the morning. And I've been really following, you know, as crazy as he is, this freaking Gregor Gallagher. I love this guy. You know, and he's got the kind of physique I like, and he's kind of like me. He's, you know, a little bit left to center, a little crazy, and you know, he just kind of eats what he wants. He stays in his calorie zone. He intermittent fasts. He eats like maybe 4 to 6 hours in a day, and he intermittent fasts like 18, 20 hours. He trains hard 3 days a week and just lives his life, man. And that's what I'm doing. And I've been following Nate Miyake. Chris Kruger was a huge part of this. He's the you know, he's the Beast Feast guy. I actually went out to LA and worked with him, and not worked with him, but he talked with me and we interviewed, and he's helped me a lot. And Kiefer's a huge part of this too, with the intermittent fasting and the carb backloading and carb night, which I'm not going to get into it all here, or the science of it. If you're interested in it, I can get into it with you, or you just research it, you know. But and all this is kind of, the person that has kind of circled around all of this is Ori Hofmeckler, who's somewhat the person that started a lot of this kind of primal eating, warrior mind, how, you know, how we're getting fat, why we're sick, and intermittent fasting. And he's a French painter, artist guy who had to give up art because he started to lose his peripheral vision and it was too hard for him to do. So this was his thing. He was into science and biology and fitness and health and food. And his book, The Warrior Diet, was the template for a lot of like this and Lean Gains, and all these guys are into this intermittent fasting, paleo-ish kind of stuff. Anyway, a couple days ago I got The Warrior Diet for the first time. Now I've been hearing about it and I've been working the principles via other people that were always like, oh, this is the Warrior Diet, but I never actually got the book. I got it on Audible, started listening to it. It's changed my life. I'm eating like a warrior and I'm not eating like a scavenger. It's 10 o'clock at night. I'm wide awake. I'm jacked. I'm ready to kick some booty. So, anyway, you know, that's it. It's all come for me, to Ori Hofmeckler's The Warrior Diet. Hey! Anyway, y'all, man. Riker, you know I'm making this now the dog's here. You want to come say hey to the camera? This is the craziest of all of the Lugos. Give me a kiss. Good kissy. She was so little when we got her about 3 months ago. Now she's like getting all chunky. Took her to the dog park. Went to the dog park today. You know, basically this is what I do. To sum this whole thing up, I intermittent fast. I try to wait as long as possible before I do a coffee. I try not to do a coffee till 11 o'clock or so, and then I try not to eat till 1 or 2. I track all my calories. I have an app with this guy that's been helping me, Max Pasternak from Gravity Fitness or whatever. I track all my food. I stay under 2,000 calories a day. That's important to me. And people that say calories don't matter, that's fine. Calories matter to me. When I stay under 2,000, I get skinny. When I stay over 2,000, I stay the same. It doesn't matter what I eat. And it doesn't matter what I eat if I stay under 2,000. If I eat pizza and I stay under 2,000, I lose weight and I feel better. You know, my body has so much metabolic flexibility now, and it's just jamming. A little junk, a little too much of that, a little extra salt, a little extra high fructose. My body's just like out. It's just out. It doesn't even get phased by that shit anymore. I track all my food, under 2,000 calories, intermittent fast. I start to try to eat by 1 or 2. I try to stop by 6 or 7. I only drink water. I drink plenty of water, get plenty of sleep. You lose weight when you sleep. I take a multi, I take a mineral, I take a multi after my first big meal. I take a mineral and BCAAs in the morning and probiotics. That's my morning. BCAAs, minerals, and probiotics. And people are kind of, it's a mixed bag with BCAAs because they're saying, well, you still have, amino acids in your system from your dinner the night before. I just take them because I'm lifting weights and I don't know, I'm just taking them. And that's it. I eat what I want. No guilt. I'm a warrior. I don't eat like a scavenger. I eat like a predator. Every form of healing has its place. And love, man. And you gotta have passion for the things in your life, man. And when they, like Ori says in the book, I'll leave you with this. When they take predators and they put them in the zoo and they treat them like scavengers, which means they give them cold, dead, old school food, low grade food. They feed them all the time, and the animal doesn't have to earn its food at all. Ultimately, they die. They get fat and sick and die. Because once you kill the spirit of the warrior, you're killed a warrior. And that's what happened to me. And now I'm a warrior. And I'm about to lose the rest of this weight, get some clothes, go out there on the streets of Nashville, and go get mine. I'm gonna kick some